Hello and welcome to my crochet channel. My name is Olga and today we have three things to do. We are going to make a pair of beautiful and comfortable socks. We are going to visit the Good Moss yarn shop on Etsy and we are going to have a giveaway. As many of you know, I run a small crochet business. I earn my living by selling my crochet patterns and also by making YouTube video tutorials. And I greatly appreciate all the support you have given me. Thank you so much for purchasing my crochet patterns, for watching my videos, for following me on Facebook and Instagram. And I really think if we, the craft-loving people and small businesses, collaborate and help each other, we will all benefit. And that's exactly what I would like to do today. There is a new yarn shop on Etsy that I want to spread the word about. It is called The Good Moss, and the owner Holly sells high-quality hand-dyed yarns. She sent me 2 hanks of her beautiful yarn, one for me to keep and try and the other one to give away to one of my viewers. She also sent me some tea and chocolates and a handwritten note. That was a really sweet thing to do. The Good Moss shop is still young, but it already has some excellent reviews. And that's because not only the yarn is beautiful and of high quality, but Holly really does add some special personal touch to each one of her orders. And now let's briefly talk about the yarns in Holly's shop. I don't know how she does it and where she gets the inspiration from, but the colorways are just gorgeous. This one is my favorite. It's called Snow in the Pines. So calming and tranquil. And I like it even more in the finished project. I think this is a perfect, absolutely perfect colorway for a pair of socks. This is a category 1 fingering and sock yarn, and each hank has 400 yards. So typically this is the kind of yarn you would use for knitting socks. However, you can make a pair of really nice crochet socks as well. And you are very welcome to follow my pattern. The pattern for these socks is available free on my website olgapoltava.com. I created this pattern specifically for this yarn and I just love the way my socks turned out. The fit and the stretch are just perfect. And the fabric is not too thick, yet it's nice and warm, and I can easily wear these socks inside of a pair of boots. Well, have I convinced you to purchase this yarn? If so, wait a second until I give you the coupon code. It's Olga15. Use this coupon code and you'll get 15% off your order. Thank you so much. And even if you cannot afford to buy this yarn at the moment, still please visit Holly's shop, give her a like, follow her on Instagram, and let's support her on her way of building this small business of her dream. Now let's have the giveaway for this hank of the Good Moss yarn. To enter the giveaway, here's what you need to do. Please visit the Good Moss shop on Etsy and take a look. Then in the comments below, tell me what your favorite colorway is. And make sure to watch my next video in a week because that's when I will announce the winner. And now we can start working on a pair of these socks. I will work with a hook size E, 3.5 millimeters. Let's take a look at this sock and see what stitches we are going to use. Over here, for the majority of the sock, we will use a single crochet. However, this is a slightly different single crochet than the usual single crochet, and in a minute I will show you how to make it. Then over here on the heel of the sock, we will use regular single crochets. And over here we will use double crochets and front post double crochets. Let me quickly show you how to make these single crochets. They look slightly different than the regular ones, and I want to show you on this sample that I made with heavier yarn and a larger size hook so that it's easier to see and easier to understand. We will start each round with 1 single crochet. Then we will be crocheting into the same stitch as joining. And usually when we make a single crochet, we grab yarn over the hook like this, yarn over the hook, and we make our single crochet. However, in this case we will make it slightly different. We insert the hook, but now we grab yarn with the hook over like this, and then we make a single crochet. Again, look, I insert the hook and I grab the yarn with the hook over the yarn, not yarn over the hook, but the hook over the yarn like this. And that's how these single crochets are made. And then at the end of each round we will join with a slip stitch to the first single crochet and it's gonna be a regular slip stitch with yarn over the hook. And that's how we will be making our socks today. I start with a magic ring. If a magic ring is a difficult concept for you and you're not quite sure how to make it, simply tie a knot like this, and then simply crochet inside of this knot. So I start with 6 single crochets made inside of my magic ring. So first I make a chain and then 6 single crochets, and I start making my single crochets the other way right away, grabbing the yarn with the hook over it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now I tie my knot and I have my first round ready. All I need to do now is to join with a slip stitch to the very first single crochet. For the next round, I start with 1 chain, and into the same stitch as joining, I make 2 single crochets. 1, 2. And now I make 2 single crochets into each stitch around. 1, 2. Again. 1, 2. And at the end of the round I join with a slip stitch to the very first single crochet. So in this round I should have 12 single crochets. In my third round I will simply make a single crochet into each single crochet around. So I start with a chain and then I make single crochets. 1, 2, 3. In round 4 again I will make 2 single crochets into each stitch. 1, 2, then again 1, 2, and that's how I crochet all the way around. Now I have 24 single crochets, and for the next round, round 5, I make a single crochet into each single crochet around. In round 6 I will make my increases the following way. First I start with a chain and 2 single crochets into the same stitch as joining. 1, 2. Then into the next single crochet I make 1 single crochet. In the next one I make 2. 1, 2, and in the next one I make 1. So in this round I alternate making 2 single crochets into 1 stitch, then 1 single crochet into the next stitch. And at the end of this round, round 6, I will have 36 single crochets. And it's important to count your stitches to make sure you don't lose a stitch or don't make one extra. Now for the next 2 rounds, round 7 and round 8, I will simply make a single crochet into each single crochet around. Here I finished the 8th round and I'm ready to start round 9. I start with 1 chain. Into the first stitch I make 2 single crochets. 1, 2. Then I make a single crochet into each of the next 2 single crochets. 1, 2. Now again into the next single crochet I make 2 single crochets. 1, 2, then 2 single crochets. 1, 2, then 2 single crochets into the same stitch. 1, 2, and then a single crochet into each of the next 2 stitches. So here I finished the 9th round, and in this round I must have 48 single crochets. And now I'm going to measure my gauge, which should be 2.75 inches across. So now I'm done making the increases, and from this point I will simply crochet, making a single crochet into each single crochet around. So I will have to crochet all this length, and it's going to be somewhat tedious work because these single crochets are quite tiny. So here I made a couple of more rounds of single crochets, and one thing I need to mention here is that when I was making this sock I was constantly trying it on, so this is a perfect fit for me. But when you make your socks, of course it's the best to try on and adjust to your specific size. So one thing that might be different here is that, well, I have quite skinny and bony feet, but if you have more plumpy feet, you might want to make another round of increases so that your sock is a bit wider over here. So I repeated round 10 many times, and right now the length of my sock over here is 7 inches. I'm making these socks for myself for size 7-8. If you would like to make your socks for the shoe size 5-6, you should have this length 6.5 inches long, and if you would like to make your socks for shoe sizes 9-10, this length over here should be 7.5 inches long. Now these measurements are approximate, and for the best fit it would be better if you try on your sock as you crochet and add or remove rounds as you need. One thing I would like to mention here is that the join over here is not perfect, and I did try several ways to join my rounds and I can't come up with anything better than this. So as you can see, it is a bit noticeable, but the good thing is when my sock is finished, this join is going to be on the bottom of the foot, so it won't be that noticeable, so it doesn't bother me that much. But I did want to mention it and show it to you. And if you guys have any ideas of how to join rounds with the invisible joint for this stitch, please share them in the comments below. Thank you. So now I need to start working on the flap of the heel, and to ensure that this joint is on the bottom of the foot, I'm going to fasten off the yarn over here, and then I will attach it over here and continue crocheting from this point so that the seam or join stays on the bottom of the foot. So now I fastened off, and now I will join my yarn into the 12th single crochet to the right from the joint, and if you are a left-handed crocheter you will be joining to the left. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 over here. This is the stitch where I join the yarn, and into this same stitch I make a regular single crochet, and now I will make a single crochet into each of the next 27 stitches. And again I'm making regular single crochets. That's 3 4. So here I made 28 single crochets in total. Now I make one chain and turn, and again I make a row of single crochets, and I will continue making single crochets until I have 14 rows in total. I completed 14 rows of single crochets for the heel flap, and now I'm going to stitch it together. I turn my work inside out and I fold the edge of the heel together like this, and now using single crochets I will stitch it together, and I grab both loops of single crochets on each side. And then I fasten off and hide the yarn tail. Now back to the right side, I will attach the yarn at the seam over here and I will continue crocheting in the round. Now once again, the way I did over here, I will make single crochets grabbing the yarn with the hook over it. So I attached my yarn and now I will work into the ends of rows of the heel over here. Into each end of row I will make a single crochet. So I start where I attach the yarn, so that's 1, and now into each end of row 2, 3, 4. I'm trying to crochet over this little tail. Here I made 14 single crochets because remember I had 14 rows of the heel over here. So into each end of row I made a single crochet, so I have 14 in total. Now I will continue crocheting into this part of the sock. So into each of the next 20 single crochets I will make a single crochet. 1, 2, 3, and now once again I will crochet into the ends of rows of the heel. So I will make 14 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, and at the end of the round I join with the slip stitch to the first single crochet. So in this round I have 48 single crochets. Now in the next round I will make decreases. I will actually make a decrease for every 4 stitches, and that's because I'm making these socks for myself and I want a perfect fit for me. But depending on how skinny or plumpy your feet are, you may or may not want to make that many decreases. You might want to make fewer decreases, or you might choose not to make any decreases at all. It really depends on your perfect fit. I start with 1 chain and now I make 2 single crochets finished together over the next 2 stitches. So that's my decrease. Next I make a single crochet into each of the next 2 single crochets. 1, 2. Now again I make a decrease, 2 single crochets finished together over the next 2 single crochets, and I make a single crochet into each of the next 2 single crochets. 1, 2, and I continue crocheting this way all the way around. After completing the round of decreases I have 36 stitches in total, and for the next 11 rounds I'm going to make a single crochet into each stitch around. And now I only need to make this part over here. I'm going to switch to a smaller size hook, size D, and I start the next round with 3 chains. These 3 chains will count as my first double crochet. 1, 2, 3, and now I simply make a double crochet into each single crochet around. For the next round I pull up the chain a bit higher and I make a front post double crochet around the chain 3 of the previous round, and into the next double crochet I make a double crochet. Next I make a front post double crochet and then a regular double crochet, and I continue crocheting this way all the way around. And now I will simply make 5 more rounds alternating front post double crochets and regular double crochets. And now I will fasten off and my pair of nice warm cozy socks is ready.